Well, it's early morning here at my place. Dre got up at 10 minutes till 5 this morning, so I've been up since 5. It's now somewhere after 8, and I might as well get going with getting this done. This is one of my favorite plants, marshmallow. It's great. It's coming back good. I got a lot of work here to do to clean up this bed, and that's alright. I can have some really great upper respiratory and lower GI medicinals. I make capsules out of this. The tincture incredibly hallucinogenic, so I don't make tinctures, but capsules I do, and it's wonderful that way. I don't make tea. My palate doesn't really like slimy things. I guess if yours does, have at it. Tastes good, not bad. I have it literally growing everywhere. My lemon balm, I love this stuff. I like to pinch the leaves and smell it. It's very uplifting. It's great for depression, tummy aches, children, great for infants and babies and young kids. Very safe to give them. It would take a lot to be toxic, if it even is. It smells a lot better than it tastes. It's okay in taste. The effects are wonderful. It's very calming. I really like my lemon balm. And I gotta really watch out. The snails and the slugs really like it too, and if I'm not careful, they'll log it down, cut it down. I gotta get them nasty things out of there. I guess we need them, but I don't know what for. They don't like them in my garden. They do help decomp in the woods, though. Down there, I have what I hope to come up are some artichokes. I really like artichokes. Then past that, some cleavers. I've added new dirt to all this, and so we'll see what happens here pretty quick. Won't take much longer and everything will be sprouting up really good. Here I have lemon balm. Again, it volunteered in here, but I have yarrow, my little baby yarrow. There's a saying in a book I've read, and it says, where yarrow grows, there's a wise one that knows. I find that interesting. Pineapple mint. I really like pineapple mint. The smell of it is also very uplifting. Doesn't taste too bad. It's really delicate, furry. You can see it's really super furry on the back. Very soft. Smells great. Good in teas. I like to make oil because I like the smell. And I have a personal theory that if it smells too good to you and it makes you feel uplifted, then it's good for you and good medicine for you for aromatics. Got a lot of work to do here. I'll end up cutting these, what look like dead stems, down. I will wrap them in there, and it will get thicker. My little patch of bamboo, I keep it in pots. I grow it because I think bamboo's cool. I do want it to stay contained, and I like the blockage it does. Birds like to build their nests in it too. Believe it or not, last year's carrots. They survived all through winter in my greenhouses that blew over, which I no longer have up. I don't even know if I'm going to try. I will pull these and I will maybe eat them. It depends on if they're tough or not. And then I'm going to add a lot of nutrients to this soil and peat moss and other things and make some nice new fresh good soil. Most of these are colored carrots. I really like the purple carrots. They're super yummy. And my sweetgrass is in seed. It's just getting started. This I will harvest, use for easy smudge because it's easy to burn. Smells good. This is good enough for smudge. Clean it up. Some of my most favorites. This is Angelica. I really like my angelica. This is beach angelica. I love it. I love the smell. I like to burn it as smudge sometimes. Actually, a lot of times. I use the leaf, the seeds, and the roots to keep it growing. I cut the crowns off and I put them back in. That's exactly how I got these going. As I went out to one of my favorite little places, it's secret, and I harvested it, and I got out of there, and I came home and I processed it, and I put the crowns back in the dirt, and I've had angelica growing in my little garden for a long time. A long, long time. Took me a long time to be comfortable using this plant. It's pretty powerful, used for lots of things. It's great. I do have in with it OSHA. I don't share my OSHA because I don't get enough. I use it strictly for myself and my family. The same thing. I harvested it. I identified it. It took me years. I walked by it for 7 years thinking it was poisonous hemlock. These umbels are really hard to tell apart. You got to be really good and have a lot of confidence, and I don't really want to eat or ingest hemlock. I want to live, and I don't want my body to be not moving and be totally aware that I'm dying. I think that would be a horrible suffering. And I'll find the OSHA. Here's the OSHA. There it is, little tiny right now. I really need to doctor up this. Get a real close up here of the angelica. There she is. Here I have my honeysuckle, and it's getting ready to put off flowers. My raspberries, and my raspberries are really, really, really happy. Look at those puppies. They've got babies, flowers. I use raspberry leaf for medicine. It's a great astringent. I use the berries to eat because I really like them. Started out with about 6 canes, and now I have a lot. And if you don't keep them contained, they'll get away from you. My wonderful rosemary, flowering, putting off seeds, wonderful plant. I like to cook with it. I make medicine. It is a very good for blood flow, oxygen flow to the brain. Used in other medicines as a facilitator, helps get it going in. You gotta like rosemary, it's very strong. This one, I have 3 really nice ones. I don't know what really happened here, except for the fact that I was digging around getting some unwanted plants out, and I came across a giant grubworm, I call them. It's a type of beetle larva, and it is now dead. So I'm going to take my granny chainsaw, which is electric, and I'm going to cut it down so that other plants don't become affected by it. This one is, gosh, kind of lost track of how old it is. At a minimal, it's 10 years old. They end up getting real barky. A lot of bark. This one's not nearly as old, but it's really healthy. You can see here the stalk is not nearly as big. And they got beautiful little rosemary flowers. And behind the flower, when it falls off, will be seeds. And I've collected a few. I'd like to get more of these started. This is a really big one. And some of the blooms are dying back. That means it'll start putting off seeds. This thing is huge. It's also at least 10 years old. I got it and the other one at the same time, and it actually, these were one plant at one time, but they forked, and then I add dirt and I end up covering up the forks, and I get 2 bushes. My Argyruta roses. I acquired the seeds up north when I took Draven for a doctor visit. They have them everywhere, and and they're beautiful, and they smell wonderful, and the rose hips are about the size of a cherry tomato. Roses cost a lot of money, and I have two kinds growing because I like the oil, I like the vitamin C. These you can read recipes where you can make jam from the rose hips. You don't want to get the little seeds in there. These are the ones that Draven, I had them sitting on the counter till I could get to them and open them up so they could dry out, and he thought they were the tomatoes I'd been picking, and he ate 4 of them. It was really funny. Obviously, they didn't hurt him. I asked him if the fur got stuck in his throat. He just looked at me like, them weren't tomatoes, Mom. Kind of funny. Thank God, you know, they're totally safe. They're gorgeous. These came up last year. And didn't get all that big. I shouldn't have expectations, but I expect flowers this year. Very, very thorny. You don't want to mess with these puppies. And then I have some small St. John's wort coming up. I like St. John's wort. This is my valerian. Oops, I'm stepping on something. My valerian. Like my valerian. I've been growing this now for like 14 years. The roots aren't very big and they spread out. They don't go real deep. They're very tiny and fine. It's a great nervine. I personally can't take it because the type of person I am, it relaxes me so much I wake up, so it doesn't help me sleep. It's gorgeous. I haven't seen it in the wild, but supposedly it does, I believe, maybe here in Oregon. So when I harvest this, also I do the same as like everything else. I cut the crown off and put it back. I let it go to flower. I take the flower heads, I lay them on the ground, let them dry for a while, and take my little weed whacker and whack them into the ground, and they grow. Here I got some more baby marshmallows coming. Marshmallow. I like to call them marshmallows. Coming up. I propagated these by harvesting what was out back. Laid the sticks down, and voila, I grow plants. These are my climbing roses. I love these. They've gone crazy. The rose is really tiny, very, very aromatic. Actually, I have 3 kinds of roses. For the rose hips that we're used to seeing. Feverfew. Great for headaches and pain. Stinks. Great for as a bug repellent. My little lilac bush that I've never gotten lilacs off of, but I want them. I love the smell of lilacs. Spiritually, it's supposed to help you get in contact with your ancestors, and I would enjoy that. Here I have mugwort, Artemis vulgaris. About 400 different varieties or species. I grow one. Here is some baby St. John's wort. When it gets bigger, I might be able to show the little oil pockets in the leaves. I don't think it's going to show up here. This should get about anywhere from thigh to waist high for me. I have a lot of it. I really like it. I make a tincture and oil. Add it to different things for pain. Sprains, bruises, pulled muscles. I honestly don't know what this is yet. It's been trying to grow up for 2 years, so I'm going to let it grow to see what it is. It's just really not sure. I gotta wait till it flowers to see what it is. Could be foxglove. Sort of kind of looks like it, but I'm not positive. Here I have little tiny baby comfrey. I actually did move it, but if you drop one little piece of comfrey root, you have comfrey. Another lilac bush, my second one. And here, it's really hard to see. looks pitiful, is my lemon rose geranium, which I love. And it's coming back just fine. Here I have my comfrey. Its old name is Knitbone, Knitback. I have to grow a lot of this for my son because he's a rough and tumble kind of guy, and he pulls muscles and joints and ligaments and gets a lot of scrapes and cuts. His dog also uses comfrey. I actually help out animals too. My friend's cat uses honeysuckle for abscesses. It's a male cat who thinks he's still a tomcat. He still hunts and mices. He's 14 years old, and he ends up getting these abscesses, and she puts it on him or squirts it in his mouth or squirts it on the abscess, and in a couple days his abscess is absolutely healed up. Fantastic. My daughter started giving it to her little dog that has itchy skin, and she doesn't itch near as bad. Mugshot, my favorite customer, he's a dog. He's my son's dog. Is a 70 to 80 pound blue nose pit bull, gorgeous dog. And they have to literally hide herbal products from him, or he will take the lid off. He uses his paws and his teeth, and he takes the lid off a glass jar. He does not break the jar, and he licks it clean. He loves the Knitbone ointment I make. He also uses the oil. Put a couple pumps on his food, and he'll lick it right up. He does like lip balm and body balm, and he squishes his tube and gets it out, and he's constantly eating the kids' lip balm I give him, and I think it's really funny. A lot of animals get into the products and eat them. My mom's dog, her friend's dog, went to the bottom of her purse, little old tiny poodly type dog, and literally went for the lip balm and got it out and squished it out of the tube and ate it all. Down here I have mullein. This is about their second year. They'll grow up pretty good size. It's fantastic for the lungs. The leaf I use for tincture for the lungs, which I ran out of last year. I have some I'm going to press off. The flowers are great for ears and earaches, so I use the flowers to make oil and the leaf to make tincture. I use the roots also. I didn't harvest any roots this year. I do like to mix it in with the leaf. It's all great for the lungs. There's many other uses for mullein. It's a gorgeous plant. Mine grows kind of crazy. You definitely want to get your flowers picked off before the seed pod opens. When the seeds shake down, it sounds like thousands of grains of sand, and then you have mullein everywhere, and that's okay. I want to get a really nice good shot of this mugwort. Grayish on the back side, nice and green on the front side. I've chosen to share a really big mistake with you. A couple years ago, I did some trimming on my lavender, and I always knew not to cut into the woody part too much, and I did. 2 of them did very well, as you can see. This poor baby right there, you can see all the dead sticks, did not do very well. I most likely have a dead root ball down there, and I really need to remove it and doctor up the soil to help this little guy. I didn't really want to share a mistake with you, but I thought, well, if I'm going to share, I need to share everything, and I would like to share what not to do. Whatever you do, do not cut down into the woody part of your lavender. I've been so proud of my lavender plants. I planted these in the spring indoors from seed of 1996, the same year Draven was born. My lavender, my beautiful, beautiful lavender, is the same age as Draven. These are coming up on, actually they are 18 years old. So be nice to your lavender. Stay in the green when you trim it back. Don't get down into the wood. You can, I have propagated from cuttings. It's a little bit difficult. Sometimes they take, sometimes they don't. I have seeds from these mothers, and I will literally get some more started. It actually takes so much because all you use is the little tiny buds. I'll show you a little sampling of what will have seeds in it or does. That right there is one of last year's blooms. Inside of here, maybe it's hard to see. There we go. Seeds. These will make new babies. And this, even though it's gone through winter, this, when you rub it, is still very, very aromatic. And it still smells like lavender. I have a really tiny one going here. It's actually a cutting off of that. I have this real tiny one. And this one, they're really begging for some new nutrients, and they're going to get it later on today. I planted red clover because it's a legume and it really helps put back nutrients into the soil. The flowers are an excellent for helping with our blood cleansing, antibiotic, anti-cancer. This little flower is awesome. This is what the backside looks like. I am literally taking it out because the roots are massive and I don't want to choke my lavender out. So I will take it out. I will buy probably a couple pounds of more seeds and I will spread them in the lawn. So I will no longer have grass, I will have red clover. When it's cut, I literally cut it. I use it as it's a wonderful fertilizer. You put it in a bucket and you pour boiling hot water over it. I actually have a 5-gallon bucket over there. I fill the bucket, pour boiling hot water over it, let it set for 3 days. It literally turns into fertilizer and it smells like fertilizer. And then I use that to water with to give them a drink of really good stuff. And then I take the plant that's been roasted and toasted and it goes in my plant recycling. So I just really wanted to share what not to do. Be nice to your lavender. Don't cut her. These were like, you couldn't get through them. And now I have other cuttings coming up. Bye-bye.